Hello there, wonderful world of YouTube. It is your girl SwimmstaGal coming at you guys with another video. In this video, we're going to be doing a currently inked video for the month of June. I cannot believe it's the month of June already. Man, this year's flying by. I didn't post one in May just because I didn't ink very many more pens. I basically just inked one more, and my lineup was pretty much what I did for my April currently inked with me. But for the month of May, I did, finish out some of these and then ink the pens with other ink. So we're going to go ahead and skip a page. We're going to clip it. This is still like one of my favorites from Pen Chalet, the Hold That Thought brass clip. It's so cute. Over here, we're gonna grab a pencil board for the back. Although I don't think we need a pencil board for the back, if I'm honest with you, because here I just basically put the swatches, but we'll put a pencil board. And this time around, I have more pens inked. I'm kind of like on the debate of whether I should include the pens that made it, got re-inked with the same ink, or if I should just put the new ones all in my handy dandy rickshaw bag. Because I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pens, 8 if I include my everyday carry, which is my TWSBI Diamond 580 ALR in black. So I'm kind of wondering, do I or do I not? Because out of the colors I have over here from my April, Tsukuyomi, which is the one that was linked in my Esterbrook Blue Moon, is still inked in my Esterbrook Blue Moon. I re-inked it just because I love the combo, and that little mini stub is just to die for. And for my Pilot Vanishing Point, I kept it with the same Mont Blanc ink. Man, I was really not liking writing with that pen. I was just trying to convince myself that I did. And then I watched a video. I know, sidetrack, right? I watched a video where they tuned it, and I don't recommend doing this at home. But I tuned mine, I guess that's what they call it. And 10 out of 10, way better experience. I don't feel like the tines are crushing into each other anymore, so that's good. So, okay. We're going to go ahead and ink the new pens. The pens that weren't in last video. I did put the inks over here just again to show you guys. So I have Tsukuyomi in Blue Moon. And the Jane Austen Mont Blanc color in the Pilot Vanishing Point. And this kind of color story to me kind of seems a little bit more on the random side, I guess you could say. It's not like a lot of I don't think it's a shared color family. We do have some similar colors. So what you're going to see me swatch, or maybe I should do it as I swatch them, right? Yes, let's do it as I swatch them. I think I'm going to start off with the boldest one I have, which is the Fuchsia de Magellan. But this pink fuchsia one from Jacques Herbin. And I got this one during release day. I just, for some reason, never inked it. When I inked it, I was like, how could I have not done that? That is wild. Now I'm just trying to kind of figure out how I want to space this out so that they're kind of even, but we'll eyeball it. So for any shimmer inks, you just want to kind of roll them between your hands. You can shake them, but when you shake them, you're going to get a lot of air bubbles that could kind of prevent you from getting a fuller fill on your pen. So we are going to start off by swatching this one over here. And y'all cannot tell me that that color is not stunning, stunning, stunning. Always cap your inks after you're done swatching. You don't want to risk an accident. I put this one in my Lamy Coral. This is like the new one. I just did an unboxing of it. I'll have it linked down below for you guys that are interested in seeing the unboxing. I'm going to go ahead and zoom us in so we can watch the swatches a little bit closer up. Similarly, I would recommend just kind of like moving the pen around a little bit just to kind of get that, just to get the shimmer kind of like mixed in there and going. If you have blotting paper, this is probably where you would want to take it out. I do have blotting paper, but I cannot find, where did I put it at? Alright, well, do I have blotting paper? I know I do. Oh, so scared, so scared. Yep, I do. Just go like this. If you're like at the beginning of your notebook and you kind of want to have like a better placement under it, you can always put like a notebook. I'm just gonna put my hand in this case. Hopefully that's not something I regret, because it's not as stable as putting like a flat notebook. Okay. Last time I had put a cute little stamp here. I'm just gonna skip the stamp this time. As you guys can see, it goes down very pigmented, which I think the color just speaks for itself. That is a stunning, stunning, stunning pink. Now, for the next one, this pen I actually originally had it inked with the, I guess be like the matching color, which was the Esterbrook and Coffee Monster's like, what is it, watered iced coffee? Is that what it's called? Let me see. Oh, Forgotten Iced Coffee. But I wasn't really happy with that pen combo, so I was like, you know what? I need to bring out something a little bit different. So I went in and bought, well, I didn't buy it. I already had this one in my collection, the Majestic Maple Syrup. I did purchase this one with my own money. This one is such a lovely ink. Like, I know it took me like a while to finally decide to buy it, because I mean, I do have a lot of inks. But this one was just, it's like such a beautiful color. And when you swatch it, the shimmer on this thing is crazy. So right now you're seeing me kind of like do like a little tappy motion, because I'm just going to go in with the cotton swab so I can get a swatch over here on this side. Just got a little bit of extra drops to this so you can kind of get a better idea of how it's going to look in your pen. I have a medium nibbed pen in this case, so it really does kind of help with pushing that shimmer through. And then this is my pen. You guys can look at the swirls. And fun fact, this is actually the second Esterbrook that I ink with a shimmer ink. The first one was the Esterbrook and Ferris Press collaboration. I don't know why sometimes I get a little bit nervous like inking the more expensive pens with shimmer, but at the end of the day, you gotta use what you got, right? Like, what's the point of having something if you're not gonna fill it up with stuff you like to use? Next, we're gonna do another Ferris wheel pressed ink. This one you guys might recognize from my ink diary series. This is actually the ink I chose for the month of May. And by ink for the month of May, what I mean is I have the 5-year Hobonichi, and I've recently found that I like having like one ink color for the whole month. And for some reason, I associate months with colors, so I don't know why I really thought that May was like a bright yellow. But this is a very, very beautiful bright yellow, so it was like a win-win. Like, you guys see how it's going down. It's like bright. But my favorite part about this ink is the dry down. Now, this ink I also purchased with my own money. I know I'm an ambassador, so if I ever have like any inks in line that I was gifted from Ferris Press, I will let you guys know. But these two so far, I've purchased with my own money. And this one I have inked in my Twisby transparent yellow. Like, beautiful matte, right? Right? Like, as you guys can see, I'm pretty much almost done with it. So, that's really cool. And I think this is like the first time I've ever inked my transparent yellow, which is insane because I've had it. This is like one of the very first Twisby Ecos I bought, like once I started entering the rabbit hole, because these were the ones that were like more easily available when shopping. And as you're writing, it is a little hard to see what you're writing sometimes, like if your light is like really bright. But the color payoff, and once it dries, it's absolutely worth it. Next, we're going to go in with an ink that I did get through the Ambassador program on Ferris Press, which is Blue Yosemite Falls. This is like a very nice, what I would consider kind of like a clear water blue. Like, I guess like a light teal. And this one, I inked it in my Sailor 1911 in the color Soda Pop. I bought this with a zoom nib, right? Because I was kind of like, oh, let's experiment. Let's buy some new nibs. And this is the very first time I've ever inked it. I've owned it for a bit, but it was one of those like special pens that I was like, oh, it has to be the perfect time. And I was like, you know what, girl? Because I'm entering my use it or lose it era. And I was like, girl, you gotta put some use on those pens because, you know, you gotta experiment. Now, I will say, like, it's a kind of like a mixed on the writing experience just because I'm not very used to the zoom nib, like, at all. Because I don't own any other zoom nibs. Which kind of makes me wonder what possessed me to buy a zoom nib. I'm guessing it was because it was like, they were like, oh, it's like a really unique signature thing. And I think this was like my very first, what I guess can be considered like a custom grind. I'm not 100% sure if it's considered a custom grind. But if it is, this would be the very first pen that I purchased that has it. And I thought this blue, though, like on the lighter side, of course, really complemented this pen like nicely because like the undertones of the blue are very similar. And I'm someone that likes to match my pens to my inks, like, you know, whenever I can. It's not like I have to. Like, as you can see with the coral, I did like the bright pink. But it is nice. It is nice. And with the zoom nib, if I'm not mistaken, I think though, like the more, like the closer to, is it like the higher, like yeah, the higher the point, like the finer the writing. And like the more you go, like the flatter you get on, like get it. Let me see if I can show you. The bolder the writing line will be. So I think this is going to be like low-key one of my favorites once I actually learn how to work with the nib, just because I really do enjoy like the stub nibs and things like that because of their writing variation. So we're gonna see. I like writing more with it, like I guess what you would consider like on the belly. I don't know if that's the exact terminology, but because with Blue Yosemite Falls, like I said, it's a lighter color, so it does tend, like if you're writing with the finer point, it might make it a little bit more difficult to see depending on the lighting. And the last ink I have is one I've been dying to ink for a while now, but the lightness of it all kind of like stopped me from doing, because it is a really light ink, which is Wendy Darling by Wearingeul. Oh my god, you guys, I kind of want to buy a second one of these just because I'm like, this ink is like absolutely so beautifully stunning. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so beautiful. But realistically speaking, am I ever gonna actually finish this ink container? Like, am I ever actually gonna finish this bottle up? Because it is essentially a lot of ink. So unless I have it like permanently inked, I don't think I'm ever gonna run across like the issue of running out, unless I give out a lot of samples when I do like my, like, you know, when we do like ink swaps with my pen friends, then I can see it being used up. But other than that, not really. Now I cleaned this one out, right? I had it inked with Romeo and Juliet, as you guys might have seen on my April one, and the combination was pretty. Like, the color of Romeo and Juliet was really lovely, but it, like, that ink was so wet that this fine nib wrote like a bold. So that's the reason I got kind of overconfident. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put this ink in this pen, my nib, right, then this pen, because it wrote so like nice and juicy with the Romeo and Juliet. It's not as juicy with this one, but I think it's still like really, really nice. So and this is, I think, the very first time I've ever inked a fine nib pen with a shimmer. Again, I was a little overconfident because of that, like the Romeo and Juliet, how thick the pen was writing, but it's all good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put these closer here. I'm gonna zoom you guys out a little bit just so that we can get like all of them, and you guys can just kind of watch them dry. So I will be back. It'll be sped up for you guys, and then we'll be back once these are completely dried. Alright guys, we are back. The inks all seem to be dried, and I think I have you guys zoomed all the way. Oop. Now you guys are zoomed all the way. We're gonna go ahead and start with the fuchsia color from Jacques Herbin, and like I said, this is an absolute stunner. This is, you have a very consistent like fuchsia base, and like the little, like the shimmer is so fine that it just kind of makes it look like the pink is reflecting like naturally off the light. This is actually, like, you know, sneak peek, it's gonna be my ink of the month for June. I know, but this color is just so beautiful. As you guys can see it with the Lamy Coral, I have it with the left-handed nib because I initially intended to use this for my left-handed practice writing. And I find that the left-handed nib writes very similar to their medium nib. So as you guys can see here, I did do some strokes downwards, some in the middle, and then some squiggly, so you guys can kind of see how it plays. But as you see, the color itself is very consistent. You don't get a lot of shading with this particular ink, but the shimmer does pull through beautifully. Next up, we have Majestic Maple Syrup by Ferris Press. This one is a very stunning ink. It has a very nice tan base color. This was actually, these two were kind of duking it out for ink of the month for the month of June, just because this one is so beautiful. This color is just amazing. Like, it has shading, you have the like champagne colored shimmer that just is beautiful. Like, look at how it reflects. It almost gives it like a metallic finish. And when you see the writing sample, it does not disappoint. Because I have it inked in a medium nib, it really does show through like the qualities of the ink. Like, as you guys can see here, you see like this light shading. I like that the disbursement of the shimmer is pretty equal amongst all the lettering, and against the light, it gives it kind of like that, almost like that foiled finish, which is really, really nice. Like I said, this Freshly Squeezed Sunshine goes down incredibly bright, but the dry down is absolutely worth it. Like, the saturation of this ink is beautiful. Such a lovely warm toned yellow with shading that kind of gives you little orange ridges. The writing sample, as you guys can see, where you have like the, I guess you can say where you pocket a little bit more of the ink flow, you do see some of that orange pulling through, and the ink itself becomes way more legible once it's dry. So I always think it's kind of like a little bit of a magic trick. It goes down light and then it dries into this like beautiful, beautiful, like warm sunshine yellow. And as you guys can see here, you do see the traces of the shading, which I appreciate. Down below we have Blue Yosemite Falls by Ferris Press. Again, this is such a lovely light blue. Maybe it's like a light teal, but it reminds me of a body of water. Like if I'm looking at a blue body of water, this is the ink color I think of, which I mean fits the name quite well, right? Blue Yosemite Falls, like absolutely stunning. It does have shading properties, as you guys can see, where you have like the darker outlining, and you can see it throughout the ink swatch itself. It's also quite present in the writing sample when you're writing with the bolder nib, as you can see here. As you can see on the second line, when you're writing with the finer point nib, it is a little bit harder to read it, but it's not like illegible. It just makes it not as easy to see, if that makes any sense. So this one I would definitely recommend inking in with a broader nib. And last but definitely not least, we have Wendy Darling by Wearingeul. Oh my god, this one is just so stunning. This one I just get so excited. Like look at that, like that ink, like all the colors, like how the pink kind of comes through, that you get some purple undertones, the shading, the shimmer on this thing, absolutely beautiful. Like the shimmer on this one kind of gives it like a wet look, which I think is really unique. And what I like is, even though I wrote with the fine point nib, like I can still perfectly see the writing. Now I will say, since I'm writing with the finer nib, it is a little bit harder to see the kind of like the pink showing through. It's not like completely gone. Like if I'm looking at it from up close, I don't know if the camera's gonna... I don't know if the camera's gonna like focus. Oop. Let me see. As you guys can see here, like it's focusing a little bit, but as you can see, like in between the lettering, you can kind of see a little bit of that purple kind of pushed through, and the pink. Oh my god, this is just hands down. I think aside from the pink, this has been my most favorite selection of inks for any month. I know, a bold statement to make, right? But just looking at this palette, it just makes me happy. Like these colors just bring joy, which is, I don't know if it's a weird thing to say, but all of these, just like the pink, how bright it is, it just kind of reminds me of like summer. Obviously the sunshine, the sun is out, you know, but partied up. The clarity of the blue, this is just so like calming. I don't know. All I'm saying is that this is a 10 out of 10 selection for me. Alright, you guys. Now, I know I can continue rambling on how beautiful I think all these inks are and how happy this month's ink selection has made me. But we're going to go ahead and move into like the end of the video. I will have any of the links for the available inks down below for you guys. I do have a code JA-SWIM for 15% off any purchases you make through the actual Ferris Press website. I'll also include some outlet stationer codes for some of my friends. I believe those get you guys 10% off. And Chalet, I think, is one of my favorite ones. They have like a referral like link. So it's not like you're an ambassador, so anybody can share that link if you get it through your account, where I believe you guys get a certain amount of credit, and then if you guys make a purchase through that link, I also get a certain amount of credit. I absolutely love that one because I think it's like $10. But yes, I'll have all that information down below for you guys. If you guys do want to see kind of like a monthly summary of my currently inked videos, I don't think I've done one before, but if you guys are interested in watching something like that, I could definitely look into making one of those. Just let me know down below if that's something you guys would like to watch in the future. Other than that, if you guys like the video, don't forget to like. If you guys would like to subscribe, that would mean the world to me. And again, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a comment down below or comment anything you guys would like to see in the future. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!